Mackenzie Gray joins us now. Mackenzie, Trudeau's Liberal government responded to this case for the first time today. What did they have to say?
Well, the minister in charge, Carolyn, Dominic LeBlanc, said he met with both the head of CSIS and the RCMP yesterday to get more details on how someone who allegedly participated in aggravated assault on an ISIS prisoner in 2015 was able to immigrate to Canada.
The internal reviews in terms of the security screening process with the Department of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship are ongoing.
The review is about 62-year-old Ahmed El-Didi and his son Mustafa El-Didi, who's 26, both arrested on July 28th in a Toronto area hotel room on numerous charges, including terrorism-related offenses. Police alleging the pair were in the advanced stages of planning a terrorist attack in Toronto and had filmed a video of themselves holding weapons in front of an ISIS flag. LeBlanc still trying to figure out all the details.
It might be interesting to know when that information came to light and when that information was in the hands of which decision maker.
An excellent question that the government so far has refused to answer, citing privacy reasons and the pending court case. But here's what we do know so far. National security sources tell Global News that in 2015, Ahmed El-Didi allegedly appeared in a video released by ISIS that shows a man dismembering a prisoner with a sword that took place overseas. Global News has seen what is believed to be the video, but is choosing not to show it due to its graphic nature. After this video, the elder El-Didi immigrated to Canada and eventually obtained citizenship, but the government has not said how, when, or why he was admitted. It wasn't until 9 years later, this summer, that police became aware of the elder El-Didi.
Was he on your radar at all before the beginning of July?
No, sir. Weeks later, both El-Didis were...
And here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Another day, another Muslim terrorist. Like, people honestly want you to believe that this is like isolated thing and, you know, the whole religion of peace. Honestly, how many times this has to happen until people will realize, okay, there is an issue there. Like, it's just unbelievable. Here, the guy participated at dismembering a person because that's what they do. I actually, to be honest, years ago, I've seen a video of American being beheaded in Iraq. I was traumatized probably for about a week. And it was like a grainy video. But yeah, the guy probably was thinking that they're just gonna make a video about him, you know, ask for money. They put him in front of the cameras. There's 3 guys standing, maybe 4, standing behind him, talking in Arabic. And then one of the guys takes out a big knife. They pull him down on the floor and they start cutting his head off. That's the kind of stuff that they do. And people think it's all a game. And you have to be inclusive and you have to be sensitive to them. Like, are you kidding me? Like, why did they came here? Why did they have to come here? Seriously. There's 57 Muslim countries in the world. And it seems like they want to leave all of them. There's a few countries that, yeah, kind of have okay life. But they don't have democracy. They simply have okay life because very small population. And basically the whole country sits on a huge reserve of oil. But they don't actually produce anything. They don't contribute to society. Nothing. They don't invent anything. They simply happen to live on the land that has oil. That's it. Nothing more. But the countries that don't have oil, they just want to leave them. They want to run away from them. And yet they want to bring their ideology to the West. And the West seems to be welcoming them with their open arms. Why? Like, you honestly, simply look at what's happening in their own countries. Like, there is a reason why it's happening in their own countries. Why? Why not a single Muslim country is peaceful, democratic? Why? Like, why? I don't know, the closest to democracy and that stuff is maybe Turkey. But even those, the last 20 years, they've been 20 years ago, they elected Islamic government because they wanted to become more Islamic country. Because for those of you who don't know, back in 1920s, their president basically wanted to make Turkey more Western. So he made like free schools, this, that, and basically completely separated religion and government. And guess what? Until about 20 years ago, Israel was actually had very good relationship with Turkey. They were selling them weapons, and not only that, but they actually had military exercises even with Turkey. But then Erdogan came to power, and basically he wanted Turkey to become what it used to be in its prime, the Ottoman Empire, which basically ruled, quarter of the world. Kind of same idea as Adolf Hitler. His big dream of Third Reich. But that's what, like, it always goes the same way. They don't know what democracy is. They don't want it. It's incompatible with their beliefs, and that's why 57 Muslim countries in the world, and not a single one is anywhere close to being Western. Like I said, Turkey used to be kind of Western. That's why it became part of NATO in the 50s, but it's going down the drain very, very fast. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, right now, some of the NATO countries want Turkey out, especially after the comment of invading Israel. But, like, this is just insane. Why do people put up with this? Why do they think I don't know what it is. They just don't take it seriously. But guess what? Look at what's happening in other countries where there is a lot more Muslim immigrants. Because Europe was kind of ahead of Canada and US in terms of the amount of immigrants that came. Because, it's basically closer, physically closer. They can literally take a boat and get to Europe. And look what's happening right now. And I'm not talking about right now all the protests in England. I'm talking about the crime. The crime is through the roof. The reason nobody's even talking about it. All those protests in England, they're not simply because all those people who are protesting, they're racist and stuff. They're protesting because they're tired of the crime. The guy who did the stabbed those 3 little girls, still not releasing information. Was he Muslim? Was he not Muslim? The thing is, at this time, it doesn't even matter. People literally simply tired of immigrants coming to their country, to the England, and then committing all those crimes. Raping women, murdering, stabbing. They say in London basically became a stabbing capital of the world. Because guns are illegal. Even police almost don't carry guns. So everyone carries knife. And they're just stabbing each other, left and right. And because police doesn't even have guns, police even scared to interfere. It's completely insane. So that's why people protest. It's not because all of a sudden overnight people became racist. How the media wants you to think about it. Oh, everyone who's protesting, they're right-wingers. No, they're not racists. Nothing to do with racism. It's about people tired of the crime that all those immigrants bring. Because what do you think is going to happen when you let in somebody from Somalia into your country? They grew up with violence. That's all they know. Plus, that's without even taking religion into account. But then take the religion into account. That it's not compatible with Western values. And then you're going to take that person with the violent background, with the religion that's not compatible with Western values, and you're going to bring them in. And not just one person or two, but millions. What do you think is going to happen? The crime's going to shoot through the roof. And yeah, local people are not going to be happy with it. Unlike, let's say, in US or Canada, where pretty much everyone's an immigrant. In England, well, there's lots of people who can say they're native English. Because their ancestors lived there for 500, 1,000, 2,000 years. So yes, they take it very personal. Because they're trying to raise their family and they can see that what's going to happen to their family, what's going to happen to their country. That's why the protests are happening. And honestly, like any smart person is supposed to learn from mistakes of others. It doesn't mean you have to go through the same thing in order for you to change your beliefs. Look at Europe. Look what's happening there. Look how this whole open border policy ended for them. Crimes through the roof, and now there's protests. There's literally countries, like Western countries, issuing advisories about traveling to England. It's insane. Because people are tired of it. So yes, the other day Elon Musk said that there will be civil war, and then their prime minister didn't like it. Well, too bad. This is the truth. They don't like admitting the truth. So anyway, it's interesting to see what's going to happen with this case, but yeah, just makes you think. This is two people who they actually caught. Imagine how many people came. First of all, imagine how many people believed the same thing but didn't actually act on it back home. For every person that gets arrested here in the West that actually, was known to do something back in their home country or was planning on doing something here, I can guarantee you there's 100 people who sympathize with them. They're just not completely crazy to actually do something about it. Because they know for now they're the minority. But things will change when they become majority. There will be more and more crime. Like in England, I don't know. I was listening lately more and more about what's happening there, and it's just completely insane because police don't want to arrest perpetrators because they don't want to look like racist. Even though it has nothing to do with it. I mean, if somebody commits the crime, you arrest them. Doesn't matter what's their background. So instead, they arrest the English people because it's much easier. It's nuts. The protests about the war in Israel and Hamas and stuff, police literally says on the video that they cannot do anything about somebody showing the sign about, I can't even say it because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to say those kind of things on YouTube, but basically about doing something to Jewish people. They cannot arrest them because there's just too many of them. So what do? They find somebody who's counter-protesting and they arrest those people instead because it's much easier. So silence those voices. And this is where it's all going. Like, it's completely insane. Anyway, that's it for now.